Hello, everyone. This is Tracey D. Armstrong with your motivational moment for today. Today's motivational moment is kind of two-parted, okay? One part is about time, and the other part is about family. Someone completed the survey and they said they wanted a little motivation about parenting. And so I wanted to kind of put it together, being that I am a parent of a teenage daughter, yes. And then I also am an educator of seventh graders, so between the ages of 12, 13, 14. And with them, I am pretty much like their second mother sometimes. So, kind of have a little bit of knowledge about parenting, okay? And then the aspect from the children's perspective. So, what I'm doing today is I want to make sure you understand that there's no such thing as a perfect parent. All of my parents out there, I'm sure you can agree. As a parent, you do your best with what you know. And that's one thing that I had to learn. I had to learn that, you only can do what you know. So if you don't know that there's other things out there for your children, how can you ever expose them to the other things that you don't even know about? Hmm. And so some of our children aren't exposed to multiple things because we don't even know that other things are out there. And I'm going to say it like this because my child, well, she's not a child anymore, my young adult is away at college and she's off in Atlanta, Georgia. And we just had family weekend where we were able to visit the campus and be out there with her to, experience Atlanta, experience her campus, and just to be a part of her experience. Now, for me, I went to school in Texas. For me, Texas is what I know. Being in a completely different city, being in a completely different state, this is going to expose her to another world practically, and it's going to broaden her horizon. A lot of times, as parents, we want to keep our children safe. We want to make sure that no hurt or harm comes to them. And, most definitely that's was on my mind and still is on my mind. It's on my mind every single day. But if I did not give her the opportunity to do this and to explore and to be exposed to more that's out there in the world, how will she ever know what else is out there so that she can pass down when she does become a parent? Hopefully no time soon. That no time soon. But my point is with that, parents, don't be so hard on yourself, because sometimes we really are hard on ourselves because we just want to get it right. And I know you want to get it right, and sometimes we don't get it right. But as long as you are literally doing your best to take care of your children and your child to the best of your ability. One thing I do want to say, parents, let your children know that you are proud of them for something. Like, even if your child is challenging, I never say a child is bad. I don't say, like, when I have students, I don't say, oh, it's a bad student. I say that they're good students that may have made bad decisions, or it's a good child that may have made poor decisions. And then I look to see, well, why did you make that decision? Why did you make the choices that you made? And a lot of times they make those choices to maybe get in trouble because they want some type of attention. So that leads me to my other part, the part about time. I know life can be hectic. Life is very demanding. Like, if you work, then with work, and then with school, and with other responsibilities. And oh my gosh, if your child is in any type of activities, there was one point of time when, like, we would both leave out at 6:30 in the morning. I had practice with my team. She had practice with her team. Or we had a game. And so she's at the game dancing until 10, 11 o'clock at night. And we literally maybe saw each other 30 minutes. The 15-minute drive to school, and then the 15-minute drive back to home, and then we were tired. It was time to go to sleep. So it is essential to remember you have to make time for your children. You have to make time for your family. And when I say time, I mean actually you stop what you're doing, you put down Facebook. I mean, not while you're watching me, but you put down the phone. And because I've heard that before from students, they'll say, yeah, my mom was there, but she's on Facebook or she's on Instagram. And so they just go do the same thing because they are a reflection of you. If you ever look at some of the things that they do, because I know I looked at this now, literally, she does so many of the same things that I do, not even realizing that some of those things rubbed off on her. So a lot of things that you do are rubbing off on them, whether or not you realize it or not. You are planting a seed in their life every time they see you. You are an example. You are either a good example or you are a poor example of what they are going to be in their future. And I'm just saying, and I'm not saying everybody's perfect. What I am saying is, what choices are you making in your life? What decisions are you making? Because a lot of times they'll see that you won't quit, you don't give up, you keep going after your dreams and goals. And then guess what? That's going to rub off on them. They're going to say, hey, my mom, she pushed through, she persevered no matter what we were going through. That's going to rub off. Or they'll say, my dad, he worked hard, he hustled, he made sure he got, one of my students said, my dad works, my dad comes in, and my dad makes sure he still stops and he spends time with us. We laugh, we joke a little bit, and then, we go to bed. But she's like, no, he does make time for us. And they see this. And this is motivational. And the motivation is to make time. Anything that is important to you, you will make time for. If you want to go see the Beyonce concert, you're going to make time. If you were watching the NBA All-Star game or the Super Bowl, you made time to do those things. So the question is, how much time do you actually set aside and you plan for your children, for your family? Like, I'm just going to use me for example. This weekend, like I said, was family weekend, and I was supposed to work on Thursday. However, I knew that everything started early Friday morning, and if I was going to fly to Atlanta, I needed to be there on Thursday. And so and everybody can't do this, and I understand, but I was like, okay, I need to take off one day so that I can be there for my child for this weekend so that she can have that representation of family, because they look for us. They look for us to be there to support them. And I really felt, I don't want to say I felt bad because that sounds bad, but there were so many students who did not have their parents come out and support for whatever reason, whether it be financial, whether it be work schedules or anything like that. But I wanted to make sure that I made time as a parent to be there for my child. Well, let me not say my child, for my young adult, because let me tell you, you never know what tomorrow brings. And then secondly, it's going to go by before you know it. Every time she leaves to go back to school, or every time I leave her there, I have to remember that time went by so quickly to where it's like, oh my gosh, like you will always be a parent, but it's not the same once they're out the house. So make time for your children. Tell them you love them and tell them that you are proud of them. Find something to be proud of them for. This is Tracey D. Armstrong. Have a good one, y'all.